There are times when you have to manually place ductwork. To do this, you'll need to go to the Systems tab and select the Duct button located on the HVAC panel. This launches the Placing Ductwork command and launches the modified Place Duct active ribbon. The Placement Tools panel on the active ribbon has two major buttons. They are the Automatically Connect button and the Justification button. The Automatically Connect button is an on-off button. If highlighted, model ductwork will connect to the other ductwork or mechanical equipment if the mechanical equipment has duct connectors. And if the Automatically Connect button is not highlighted, then the ductwork that is being modeled will not connect to any other ductwork or mechanical equipment. The Justification button addresses the alignment of the ductwork being modeled. We'll take a closer look at this button a little bit later. Now moving back to the Automatically Connect button, let's make sure this button is highlighted. While on the Add Duct command, we'll go to the Properties palette. And this is where you'll set the duct system and the duct type. The duct system is located under the mechanical group. And under the System Type parameter, select the duct system from the drop-down. We will set the duct system to supply air. And then moving up to the top of the Properties palette, we will select the drop-down arrow next to the current duct type and select the duct type you want. For now, we'll set the duct type to rectangular duct tap connection. Now moving back towards the active ribbon, let's look at the active toolbar. And you'll need to determine the elevation of the ductwork, otherwise referred to as the offset, and the size of the ductwork. And because we selected a rectangular duct type, you have a width and a height value to select. We're going to leave the offset at 9 feet 0 inches, and we will set the duct width at 16 inches and the duct height at 12 inches. Now with all this set, it's now time to model the ductwork. As you near the terminal box, the cursor wants to snap to the connection of the terminal box because the Automatically Connect button is highlighted. Let's select the terminal box connection and move the cursor to the right, and once you select a second point, Revit will model your ductwork based on the information inputted. While in the duct command, to change duct size, just type in a new number into the width or height values on the active toolbar, and Revit will add an appropriate transition to your ductwork run. If you continue to add ductwork without changing any settings, Revit will extend the previously modeled ductwork. Now let's set the new width to 12 inches, and when you model more ductwork, Revit applies a transition and continues to model your ductwork at the new size. Another item you can change while in the Add Duct command is your duct type. And just like changing the duct size, while in the active command, select the down arrow next to the current duct type and select the new type you want to model with. In this case, we'll change to round duct tap connections. And then change the diameter value in the active toolbar to 8 inches. And again, as you place more ductwork, Revit adds the appropriate fittings and models the new ductwork. Now when you change direction of your ductwork, you may notice that Revit displays a circle with a slash through it. This isn't cause for alarm. All this symbol means is that Revit is telling you that it cannot place the designated fitting in the distance currently provided. All you have to do is move your cursor until the symbol goes away, and Revit will place the ductwork in the fitting without error. And once you're done placing a ductwork run, if you select the escape key once, it will discontinue with your current ductwork run, but leave you in the Add Duct command, thus allowing you to add more ductwork without you having to select the Add Duct command again button. Adding duct to another duct can be done by selecting on the ductwork you want to connect to, and then selecting where you want the new piece of ductwork to end. And if you select the escape button twice, it will end the Add Duct command completely. To launch the Add Duct command again, just select the Duct button on the HVAC panel in the Systems tab, and it will launch the Add Duct command with the same settings as the last time you were in the command. So let's launch the Add Duct command and add another 8-inch takeoff for the third diffuser. Now there will be occasions when you want to place ductwork but not connect to another piece of ductwork. On these occasions, select the Automatically Connect button so it's not highlighted, and then model the ductwork like you did before. And to connect the ductwork later, just select the ductwork you wish to connect and drag the grip on the end of the selected ductwork to the edge of the ductwork you want to connect to, and Revit will do the rest. Revit will connect them using the correct fitting based on the routing preferences of the ductwork. Now everything we've placed so far has been rigid ductwork. To add flex ductwork, there are two common ways. The most common way is to select the rigid ductwork you want to connect the flex ductwork to, and hover over the grip on the end of the ductwork you want to attach the flex ductwork to. Right-click over that grip, and on the pop-up menu, select Draw Flex Duct. And Revit immediately launches the Flex Duct command, and the flex duct will match the size of the rigid ductwork size. And then you just connect to the air terminal you want to connect to. The other way to add flex ductwork is to select the Flex Duct command button on the HVAC panel under the Systems tab on the ribbon. As you see, this will launch the flex duct command without being connected to any duct. And you select the connection point on an air terminal or mechanical equipment or ductwork and complete the command the same way as before by selecting another device connection point on a different air terminal, mechanical equipment, or ductwork. Something else you can do within the flex ductwork command is the ability to add extra length or bends to flex ductwork between two connections beyond what Revit automatically puts in. To do this, start the command as you normally would. In this case, we will start from the air terminal, and instead of the next point being the rigid ductwork, select a point in space roughly where you want the ductwork to bend at, and then connect the flex ductwork to the end of the rigid ductwork to complete the run. For long flex ductwork runs, you can add as many of these points as you would like to a flex ductwork run. And moving back over to rigid ductwork, let's pan over to the other side of the building and place a return main. While placing this main, we want the left edge of the ductwork to be a set distance away from the office walls, no matter what the size of the ductwork is. So to do this, launch the Add Duct command and set the duct system to return air in the Properties palette, and make sure your duct type is set to rectangular duct tap connections. And with the Add Duct command active, you'll select the Justification button on the Placement Tools panel on the active ribbon. This brings up the Justification Settings dialog box. Now, understanding the settings in this dialog box will help you lay out ductwork without a lot of editing after the fact. This dialog box has three settings in it. There is the horizontal justification, the horizontal offset, and the vertical justification. The first setting to address is the horizontal offset. This is the distance the ductwork will be drawn from where you pick in the model in relationship to the horizontal justification value. Second, the horizontal justification setting has three values: center, left, and right. And the third setting, vertical justification, has three values as well: middle, top, and bottom. Between the horizontal justification and vertical justification settings, and the three values each setting has, you can have 9 different possible points on the ductwork to route from. You have the 4 corners of the ductwork, the 4 midpoints along the edge of the ductwork, and the center of the ductwork. For now, we will set the horizontal justification setting from the center value to the left value and the horizontal offset to 0 feet 6 inches. And once you're done in this dialog box, select the OK button. Now the reason we edited those two settings is now we can pick along the wall, and the ductwork will be left justified and offset by 0 feet 6 inches from the wall. So let's set our duct width to 32 inches and the duct depth to 8 inches, and select along the wall to begin modeling the ductwork. Now let's change our width from 32 inches to 20 inches, and you'll notice once I model some more ductwork, Revit placed an eccentric transition instead of a concentric transition. This is because Revit will maintain your left justification on your ductwork routing. And when you change from rectangular ductwork to round ductwork, Revit will still place an eccentric transition fitting so it can maintain that left justification. And if you by chance model your ductwork too long, all you need to do is select the ductwork and select the grip and drag the grip back to where you want the ductwork to end. As you will notice, the connection grip on the rigid ductwork is on the edge of the ductwork, not the center of the ductwork. Revit will still line up your flex ductwork to the rigid ductwork, even with the grip on the edge of the ductwork. Now there's times when you have to change a ductwork run to a different ductwork system. And when you do this, you'll need to make sure that the ductwork is not connected to a family that has a duct connection with a predetermined connector duct system value. Otherwise, you will be in the situation shown here, where you can only change the ductwork run to the core system of the preset connector or any system created from that core system. The core systems being supply air, return air, and exhaust air. In this case, because we're connected to a return air terminal, we can currently only edit the ductwork run to return air or relief air. And since we want to change the ductwork run to exhaust air, we need to disconnect the ductwork from the return air terminal by deleting the flex ductwork. And this will free up the ductwork to be changed to any system that is currently in the model. And we will change the ductwork run to exhaust air. Something else to note, though we only had one piece of the ductwork from the ductwork run selected, it changed the entire run to the exhaust air system. Now, one feature manual ductwork has is the ability to connect multiple duct systems to one another. As shown here, we reconnected the return air terminal to the exhaust ductwork, but it did not change the rigid ductwork back to the return air system. Though Revit will allow this to happen, a word of caution using this ability. When unlike systems are cross-connected, it may cause future connection errors and can adversely affect calculations within your ductwork systems. So a good practice is to not cross-connect your ductwork systems. And the last thing to address on a ductwork run is to seal any open ends with a cap. To do this, select the ductwork and in the Modified Ducts active ribbon, select the Capped Open Ends button on the Edit panel. And Revit will place an end cap fitting on the end of your ductwork.